Hello everyone, how are we doing? Hopefully the answer to that question is very well, because we've had a beautiful afternoon at a beautiful stadium. Celtic 2, Hearts 0. We've got Asim on, we'll be getting your thoughts on the game, and a very special guest. Will we just let you say hello, Luke, and people can work out where you're from?
How's it going?
You're an Aussie. We've got an Aussie on the channel again.
Maybe.
It's good to have you on, mate. Listen, we're going to chat about your journey to get here and what you thought of the game as well. Obviously, we'll get Asim's thoughts as well. Will we just start with your story? Introduce yourself. We've got loads of Aussies watching this, people from around the world. You're here, your first ever Celtic game. You picked a good one. Tell us your story, mate.
Yeah, first ever Celtic match. Managed to fly over to England, fly up to Glasgow this morning, just for the game. It was amazing. You turn up, it's surreal because you watch it on the stadium. You see the fans celebrate the win, the championship last year out the front there, and you got the brick and the banners, and so when you follow it, and then you walk in there, and you're just this weirdo staring at a building, and everyone's looking at you like you're nuts, and maybe you are because you're a Celtic fan.
Yeah.
And it's a love, it's a passion that's grown. It's grown enormously in the last 2 seasons, obviously with Hamish, but something that was always, as an Irish Catholic background, always we have to follow Celtic. You know, my nan doesn't even like football, but she follows Celtic. I think that's part of the DNA. But then when Ange came over, it's just sent it into a new stratosphere for us. And obviously we've got Tommy Roglic and all those boys. And we get up all hours of the night, watch ridiculous amounts of football. 3 a.m. My brothers are watching today back home, and it was 3 a.m. in the morning when they finished. And we never miss a game. It's a disease that we've caught thoroughly. I'm infected, and I don't know if I want to get cured. But yeah.
It's commitment, mate, and it must be amazing just to go to Celtic Park for the first time. I mean, I don't know about you, Asim, but it's still special. Like today, however many games I've been to, still going out there, seeing the place packed today, that atmosphere, experiencing that for the first time. Just tell us what that was like today.
Yeah, surreal. It's hard to take in. I think the next time I come back, it'll be a lot more just taking it in. I think when you go there, you're watching it on TV again, as I said, it's like a movie in front of you. You know, you're watching this film and you don't know how to respond because you're not used to it. You're used to watching it on TV and getting the snippets, but it's a whole different experience live. And you just see how much better the team is and how much the movement and all the boys. It's just phenomenal, and the support is amazing. I don't think on TV you can really grasp how much the whole stadium supports the team,
right?
Because a lot of clubs have active supporters, but at Glasgow Celtic, you get a good chant going, and the whole crowd's right in there.
Yeah, it was good.
Even in like the hospitality area, people standing up, and you just don't get that. You know, I think it's that really working class nature of the club that makes it so special. And yeah, so it's a whole different experience. It was just surreal, and it was blown away. Yeah,
brilliant, mate. We're going to struggle to get a word in today. So,
yeah.
Mate, tell us. I mean,
cut me off. That's whenever you're ready.
I thought it was brilliant today. I mean, just in general, the occasion, we've already commented on it. The fact that it was genuinely packed today, the atmosphere, the first 10-15 minutes was excellent, and obviously we got that early goal. We start with the team. Yeah. The big decisions today, guys, were over Starfelt possibly or Jens, and over Turnbull or Hatate. The manager opted to kind of go with what we've seen so far this season, with Jens starting at the back and obviously Turnbull starting in midfield. Kind of thoughts on that? Is he just taking it slowly, I think, to bring back players like Hatate and Starfelt?
Yeah, definitely. I think Hatate's missed the last couple of weeks now, so it didn't surprise me totally. And I think Turnbull's been fine the last couple of games as well, so I wasn't surprised to see him start. And I think Hatate was brilliant when he came on, so I think he'll gradually work his way back into the starting lineup. Just wanted to say, Luke, brilliant to have you over and listen to your kind of enthusiasm. It's class, because obviously we're kind of going week in, week out, so it's always nice to see someone who's there for the first time. And like we were touching on a minute ago, that kind of passion will never go, but it's brilliant when you see new fans coming for the first time and just hearing how much it means, and that's brilliant to see.
It's special.
Yeah, I mean, start of the game, going back to that, I thought we started the game really well. I think it's notable that I think in 3 of our first 4 games this season we've scored early goals. I think that makes a major difference in these matches, even against teams like Hearts, who are more likely maybe to have a go than some teams in Scotland. But that opening goal was brilliant. Made in Japan, Maeda into Kyogo. It's kind of a Giakoumakis goal. Kyogo scores a lot of goals, and he does score kind of close range goals, but that's the kind of goal you see Giakoumakis doing more often, but it was just so incisive and a brilliant finish.
Yeah, brilliant finish. I think because Maeda just whips it across straight away, doesn't waste any time. That's what makes the goal, because we see Kyogo get those positions all the time, but it doesn't come fast enough. It's half a step late, right? And then it's over, but Maeda doesn't even think. It's instinctive. They got that connection. It's
quite similar to last week's goal as well, wasn't it? Maeda playing it across
similar
to Kyogo.
To a lot of the goals. I mean,
Yeah.
the one that Jota scores from a Maeda cross against Rangers at the end of last season, and we're quite
We're getting good at that.
Maeda's really direct, and he gets the ball and he just shifts it, and he's obviously got real pace.
Just rapid.
But I just thought, the first half, if we just talk about the first half, I thought the intensity was great. Whenever we gave the ball away, which was rarely, Hearts just couldn't get out because we were right back on them. I thought Matt O'Reilly I thought second half he maybe, flagged a little bit, but first half he was aggressive. The amount of times he would kind of barge into a player legally and win the ball back. I thought, numerous players, Kyogo's energy, Jota's energy, McGregor was controlling the game. I just thought it was a really promising first half. Maybe the only criticism, we maybe didn't create too much.
Yeah. I think we get into really good positions, and then it's the final ball. It's something we've touched on. It's been a common theme that where maybe need to be a bit more ruthless. And like that first half was, I think we were worthy of maybe a 2-goal lead at that point at least. And I think that's the concern sometimes is are we not ruthless enough? Yeah. But the intensity, the winning the ball back, I think that was very prominent in the first 15-20 minutes. It was the energy of that front three and, like you said, the midfield as well. So it was really good to see. And I thought when that early goal went in, you only seen us kind of maybe scoring a few more.
The stadium was jumping at that stage. I mean, that's probably the loudest I've heard it for a non kind of Rangers game in a while. It must have been a difficult place for Hearts to be at that stage.
Yeah, and you see them. I think the one thing I noticed difference to watching on TV and to being in person is when the ball goes out or it's a quick break, all the Hearts players hands on knees, right?
Yeah.
Cramping, exhausted, and the Celtic boys are like looking, talking, thinking about how they can push more. 25 minutes in, those guys cramping up. And I think, what am I watching here? This is like a clinic. They just pump them non-stop. It's
the ball goes out and Joe Hart's already getting it.
And the ball boys have obviously now been like, I think
the ball boys can't
do
enough for Joe Hart, can they? They can never do it right. He's like, come on.
It's just so constant. And as I was watching that first half, I was like, teams are not going to be able to live with us if we keep playing at that intensity and that speed. And like you said, Hearts are one of the better teams, but by the end of the half, they look really tired. So
and maybe that's why they didn't create, because they were so exhausted from the first half. Possibly that plays a big role in it, right?
They did have one big chance.
They did, yeah.
Janelli, I mean, I think if it's Shankland, there's a fair chance he puts it in the back of the net. Hearts
if it's Real Madrid, it's in.
He's what?
If it's Real Madrid, it's in.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and that's a fair point. I mean, that's what we're going to, maybe be going up against. But, I mean, Hearts are a decent team. I mean, they could be a Europa League group stage team, so we're not playing against complete, mugs today. But that was a big opportunity, and maybe that was the only thing they created. But it was a big chance. But I wouldn't be too harsh on any aspect of the first half at all. I thought Jens was really good. Really aggressive. He didn't let Janelli get into the game at all. I really quite like Jens. I feel like he's grown into something.
Going to make it hard for Starfelt to get that spot back.
Where do you guys think that kind of sits? Because I had a conversation with my pal at the game today, and he said, "Do you think Starfelt's now going to be phased out of the team?" Because I still think Starfelt is I still think he's the first choice with Carter Vickers. When we play our big games. But what do you think?
Well, they were the mainstay of our defence when they were both fit last season, and I think everyone thought going into this season as well it would be those two, and Jens was just covering while Starfelt was obviously getting up to speed and recovering from his injury. But Jens's performances, his goals, so today when he was in the starting lineup, not a big surprise, and then playing so well again. I think in the second, we'll obviously go into the second half in a minute, a couple of times where Boyce kind of was winning headers in front of him and things like that, but I think he's done more than enough. I'm quite impressed with Jens as well, that I've got no qualms with him. Obviously we've got now a big couple of weeks coming up of where the games are ramping up, so the squad will be used, but come that derby game, come that first Champions League game, that's a decision now for Ange to make. Who would you go with? And I've got no qualms with Jens starting that, despite how big a fan I am of Starfelt.
What happened at half time, or more specifically after half time? Because we weren't horrendous, but it wasn't the same Celtic, I don't think. Was it Hearts just came and played more?
We've been positive about how Celtic have been all season, and again in the first half, so I think it's only fair to give a bit of balance. I thought we were pretty poor at the start of that second half. I don't know if it was complacency, because the first half we were so in control, Hearts barely threatened. We were allowed to play out from the back, and it just felt like Hearts maybe upped their press a wee bit further forward, and we were just a bit sloppy in possession and a bit slack, and Ange making changes after 5-6 minutes. I think that tells its own story, that he wasn't happy with how we started that second half. Sometimes it can be that you've got so much of the ball in the first half, so much ascendancy, and then a slight change from the other team second half, and maybe a bit of complacency creeped in. We're sloppy on the ball, and we then, I think, struggled to regain that control. Hatate coming on, I think, helped.
I thought Hatate was good,
but second half, just generally, I don't think we were in our full rhythm and flow.
Not to bring Stevie of this parish into the conversation, but I'm going to. I was walking back from Celtic Park with him, and not to speak for him, but I don't think he was too happy with the midfield, especially Turnbull, I think, getting a bit of criticism.
Yeah.
I think
honestly, feel free to disagree with Stevie. In fact, we'll encourage you to do it.
Stevie, I'm taking your spot. I'm going to do you proud today, Stevie. I haven't got a body warmer on, but the hoodie will get me halfway there. I thought Turnbull. The hard thing about Turnbull is he's a different style of player to what we have. He's not a bad player. He's not quite the same style as O'Reilly and Hatate. Yeah. They touch pass. He's touch pass, right?
Yeah. Turn, touch.
Turn. And he wants to shoot. It's just, I don't know if it's what his long-term future is with the style. He's just half a step slower than them. It's going to be in a bit of trouble. I do
think that's a fair point. Genuinely, that Turnbull's clearly a very talented player, and Ange, I think, made a comment earlier in the week at the press conference saying that he doesn't necessarily have a style of player that suits his team. He thinks people read too much into that, and if a player's committed and doing the right things, they'll fit his team. Well, I think that's the point he was making, and so if you say that for Turnbull as well, then he could. And listen, Turnbull's been an important player for Celtic, but I do agree that sometimes in these games when you're wanting that quick passing football, Turnbull doesn't really do things one touch. It's not really a criticism of him. Do you think that's something he can work on, or is he just not that kind of player?
I think it's something that's been levelled at him even when he had that breakthrough. Well, his kind of first season in the 2020 year was that, does he have that kind of dynamic style of play? And I don't think that is his style of play. I just don't think that's. But it's not a bit like he came on against Aberdeen, and I thought he was a big factor in us gaining control in that game. So I think there's a place for him. But when we're at our most dynamic and we're trying to break down a team, you've seen Hatate. First touch passing, first time passing, his link-up play with Jota I thought was good. Sure. I just think he's a step ahead. But that's not to say that Turnbull can't contribute in a different way. But he wouldn't be in my starting lineup.
And he's not the best 11 for Celtic. Yeah, I don't think either.
But it was his kind of incisive pass to Maeda for the first goal today. True. So it's not to have a go at him, but
I don't think he was bad. I genuinely don't. But it's just is he that perfect fit for that midfield?
That's the beauty of the squad right now. You've got such good options everywhere that if someone's maybe slightly off it, you've got. And you'll make that sub, and you'll make that change.
Exactly.
And
like today, for example,
we didn't have that luxury last year, and now you can see it. Subs are helping change games.
And I think, to be fair, I think Matt O'Reilly was kind of poor in the second half, so it's not just
a lecture. He got knocked though, so I don't know if that affects him, because he was down for about 3-4 minutes. Remember, in the first half.
I didn't see that.
The guy, one of the players, jumped on his back and he did his Achilles or his calf in the first half, and he was laying for about 3 minutes. Yeah.
Will we ask you about Aaron Mooy?
Yeah, please.
Because I thought he was really good when he came on.
Well, hey. I thought he was great, but I am very biased, and I have to put that out there first of all. I'm biased to all Australian players. I thought Atkinson was good as well, and Kyrell.
He was.
Yeah, but no, I think Mooy is I wouldn't sleep on Aaron Mooy because he's an absolute stud. I think he's Australia's best player. I think he's as good as Rogic.
Are you surprised with the reaction he's got since signing at Celtic?
No, because he's a very unglamorous player. You look at him, you're like, what? Look at him, he's bald, he's slow. He doesn't have anything about him that's glamorous, but...
He's effective.
He's effective. I watched him grow up, and I watched him play for my hometown club in Sydney, Western Sydney, and he was an absolute superstar. And every level he goes to, he's as good as the best. I watched him against Peru a few months ago. He was best player on the field. He won't have any problem stepping up to any level, and I think you'll be very surprised.
Do you think that's his most effective position then, where he's been coming on in that six?
I don't know. Celtic's different. It's a different beast because the pace of Celtic is so incredible that I think maybe,
I was I had doubts because the games we've seen him so far, he's come on, we have been like at least 2 goals up. So when he came on today, I was a little bit like, hearts are throwing it at us. Is he the right guy? Yeah. But he was brilliant. He had one tackle, it wasn't even a tackle, he just one interception late on in the game that stopped a counter-attack, and I think we won a free kick from it, and that's the kind of thing that I love to see. And He's an interesting player. I almost
He's
want to call him a
very
weird player in
He's a
terms of
weird
the
player,
way you watch him, because he's never hurried at all.
No.
He just, everything is played at his pace, to the extent where you're almost kind of wanting to give him a shake and go, do it
quicker.
But he actually doesn't give it away.
No, he never gives it away. And did you see them call man on today?
Yeah, and you're like, he knew it.
He wanted the challenge.
Yeah.
Like,
He
he's
wanted
very
something.
comfortable. I think he'll get some big fans this
My
year.
only counter argument with Mooy, I thought he did well when he came on,
How
breaking
dare
up
you.
the play. I know. It's more when Callum McGregor's playing there, I think he's so effective at constantly being there to receive it, constantly
Pace,
being able
yeah.
to there just to bounce it offside. I feel, and it's not just with Mooy, I think whenever Callum gets moved out of there, we then, the centre backs have less options. Like, Callum's just like a magnet to that ball, I think, and allows us.
Yeah.
And I was watching this kind of maybe at 60-70 minute mark, I just felt that centre backs had it and there wasn't that easy ball to your number
Callum's
6.
a different class. Though.
And that's
It's
where
a bit
Callum is so
hard
good, and I
to
think if we're going to
compare, right?
exactly.
Different class.
Yeah.
really is.
Any other kind of players you want to pick out? We'll start with you, Luke. Any players in particular from today? I thought Jota, not to do it for you, but Jota was not bad.
He was good.
Yeah.
Jota's incredible. Like, I think again, I'm comparing TV to live. The sheer amount of ground he covers, and he runs past players, and he's always making them stretch, and he's always doing stuff. It's incredible. I don't think anyone was like blinding today, but another shout out to Greg Taylor. I know he cops a lot of flack, but he gets a lot of all the attacks go through at him. Every long ball's at the left back. Everything goes to the left back, which I didn't really quite realise, but they target him for everything. And I think he did okay. I think his defence is improving as well. But yeah, I don't know. No one really stood out for me today, to be honest. Yeah.
Asim?
I would agree. I don't think we had any standout performers today. Everyone was okay. With Jota, my brother was at the game as well, and he's not often at the games. He was over from Dubai just now, and Jota, even though he didn't maybe have an assist or a goal, he straight away kind of outlined him. He goes, what a player. Just because you feel like something's going to happen all the time. Even if it doesn't, you know that their defence... And I thought, like you said, Atkinson had a good game against them, but you just feel that with Jota there's always the likelihood of something coming from him. I thought Taylor wasn't as... I think Taylor's been brilliant this season. I don't think it was his best game. Like you said, I don't think anyone was a standout today. Yeah. It was one of those games where, it was a bit stuffy. I don't know if I've not seen Andrew's comments yet after the game, but it just seemed like we didn't really get into a full flow of things, so there was not really a standout player.
Yeah, just while you mentioned Dubai, I met a guy after the game actually walking back from Dubai who was at the game today, so a hi to him, and also a very young legend that I met and got a photo with after the game. Who'll know who he is, so big thanks to him for coming up and watching the channel. Ange didn't walk around after the game. Now, I don't want to read too much into it, but
that's big news in the fan world, right?
I mean, he
write
does.
an article about it.
I'm there, every game until the players walk around, and I'd say he does it, 9 times out of 10, probably, if not more. And he didn't do it today. Can we read into that he wasn't totally satisfied with the performance, or was he maybe just not feeling a walk around the pitch today?
I think your first comment's probably more accurate. I think Ange has such high standards, has set such high demands, and you've seen it, that when instances like today where I felt there was just a bit of sloppiness at times, that's the kind of stuff he won't take too kindly to. And you're right, he does always walk, and it was it's another important win and an important weekend already where we've increased our lead. He said this at the start of the weekend that we'd be another 2 points clear. Both our strikers score, and that's a good weekend. But if we're just looking at the performance in isolation, we can play a lot better than that. And I think Ange we'll see what his comments were, but you could probably sense it. And the fact he made those subs for me was quite telling.
Says a lot,
So early in the game.
I think he's very unhappy with today's performance. I think they'll be in trouble at training. Compared to when we lost to Betis 3-2, I think he'll be happy with the loss because the performance was there. But he's all about performance, and we've seen that again, and he won't be happy with today at all.
Yeah, I mean, he sets such high standards, and I mean, Celtic weren't bad today.
No, they weren't bad
at all. We won 2-0 against the third best team, in the country, but I just think that second half performance would have fallen below his standards. In terms of Ange comments, actually, hi John. John is in the chat, manning the chat, and he's reported some stuff from Ange Postecoglou. He says Ange Postecoglou just told Sky Sports that the Sead Haksabanovic deal is getting close.
Ooh, that's good.
So it seems, well, if he's name checking Haksabanovic, that's as good as done, isn't it? So
he might be in the dressing room already as far as Ange goes.
You think another winger is a good idea, don't you?
I've been saying it for a few weeks. I felt that was one of the areas I wanted us to strengthen. I just feel like it will give us that extra option. And Andrew's been saying about he wants someone that can play across a few positions. And listening to a few of the comments midweek in one of the videos, I think it was Dave said that he can play across the middle. He'll be able to come on the left and the right, and I think that's important. And yeah, definitely, because I don't know how much James Forrest is going to feature. I know we've given him that contract. I don't know why.
Yeah, surprising.
But for me, that is an area, because I think Mikey Johnson, we might see him go out on loan potentially. So if you've got that competition, we've got Maeda, Abada, Jota, and probably. Sorry, Andy, how do you say the surname?
No. Just leave him to
Side.
Haksabanovic.
I'm not seen a lot of him, but comes with a
You trust the recruitment, don't you?
Exactly, that's the thing.
Seriously,
He's nailed it.
We pulled Jens out of nowhere. Like, what? This guy can't do any wrong at the moment.
Yeah. Mooy, twice the player. McCarthy is able to switch off as a 6 or the 8 with Calmac. Mooy's a good player. That's with Craig Gillis. Mooy's a good player. No football knowledge if you disagree. Mark Fairfield, and I'm banned from talking on this subject. I think GG is due a start. He's going to get starts because games are coming up, but I mean, that guy, it's a scrappy goal. I don't even know if it's his goal. It'll be interesting to see it, but he's just brilliant. I mean, he's just like a magnet for goals. I honestly love him so much.
I mean, imagine him in like a bottom team in the Premier League. He'd be getting like 18, 20 goals. They just cross it in all day to him. He's a stud.
I still think he'll get 18, 20 for us.
I think he probably scores more than Kyogo this season.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Well, that's him he's got 2, isn't he? Yeah, 2, and he's not started a game yet.
Kyogo's on 3.
Kyogo's on 3, and it's good that they're both scoring. And now, is this our last free midweek? And then I think that's when the midweek games start ramping up. So he is due a start, and I think he'll get one, possibly at Ross County.
Choice.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Ange giving Mooy minutes. Lots of chatting Mooy. Ange giving Mooy minutes to get him up to speed for the Champions League, where he will be needed. Jura was very good. Greg Taylor, man of the match for second week in a row. Who would your man of the match be?
It's hard. I feel pressed to give a man of the match now.
They gave Kyogo in the stadium, but
for the goal, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I feel under the pump here.
You're hard pressed for one today because. No,
McGregor was alright. Not man of the match.
I think McGregor's had quite
slow start to the season.
But I think it's almost a blessing, because I think there was times last year where he was, we were relying on him so much, and I think now you've seen in the Greg Taylor coming in as almost like a midfielder at times, takes that pressure off McGregor to constantly be that one that's receiving the ball. So that bodes well that I think he's still to hit his top form. In terms of man of match, I couldn't really pick one.
Also, Big John's looking good. Didn't he pick Aaron Mooy for the surprise
package?
Yeah, and I was with you on that, John. Don't worry about that. 100% I was. So.
Just remembering I said Bernabeu. So that's not going great at the moment. We'll see. Anthony Holmes getting in touch, driving from New York to Pittsburgh just now. You lads keeping me going. Good win, could have been more. Hi Anthony, hi everyone wherever you're watching us. Just the final comment, we've touched on it a few times already, but just I thought the atmosphere was great today. That Bella Ciao song, I don't know if we've actually got a name for it, but that was rocking. Actually, weirdly enough, the 2 times it was sang during the match, we scored during both of them. So my theory is that if we just sing that non-stop from first minute to last, we'll win every game 90-0.
Well, you better bring your megaphone, Hamish.
Honestly, I was loving that tune. It's going to be in my head for the next 24 hours. It's a crack, and I just thought in general, the atmosphere, was really good today, and I think we're going to get more games like that this season.
It's a feel-good factor right now, isn't there?
I feel like the whole Champions League.
You got to do the cliche in there.
I
like it. Any more?
Throughout the course of it, I'm sure there'll be a few more.
I feel like being in the Champions League just raises everyone's spirits.
Big time. Big time. Yeah. Kid in the candy shop. I just can't believe it. Joining Celtic, it's an amazing time. It's just been unbelievable. The amount of time I've dedicated to Celtics information is just, I'd rather not mention it, because it's half.
And it's just going to ramp up. We've got our Champions League draw to look forward midweek. You've got the derby in a couple of weeks. It's an exciting time.
I've never watched so many press conferences in my life. It's incredible. I watch opposition teams. It's amazing what this club does to you. It's so much more than the club. It's beyond. Like I can't explain to you. I can't believe how much it's affected me. I've followed football my whole life. And supporting Celtic is just like different beast to anything I've ever experienced. I'm loving it. I never wanted to stop. Yeah, I'm enjoying the SPFL so much more than I have the Premier League because there's so much
It's
more
real.
romance.
It's authentic, isn't it?
There's so
It's-
many rough edges and like
That's it.
bad spots, and it's just hilarious and it's amazing and it's just drama. It's the referees. It's it's amazing. I'm sad the VAR's coming in a way because half of
part
the
of the-
chat
I know.
is
Yeah.
referees.
We'll still have plenty to
Yeah,
chat about.
you'll
but-
make it work. Yeah, you'll make
I
it
mean,
work. We'll get Stevie on. He'll make it work. Yeah.
Rangers and Hearts both get 2 men sent off this weekend. It's crazy.
Bizarre,
It's
isn't it?
Amazing.
hilarious. Just final comment. A lot of weird offside calls today. I thought from the linesman. There was 3 or 4 I counted when Kyogo
Kyogo
was
will
in.
get
He
done
was
for at
onside.
least 10 of those a season. He's that quick off the mark that I think their just default is just stick the flag up, and I think I've seen a clip of one of them today in the first half,
Yeah.
which was clearly on. So
He needs VAR.
he needs VAR.
needs VAR,
definitely.
yeah.
Rangers and Kyogo need VAR.
Maybe-
Right, Asim, final comment from today, mate.
No, look, like I said, start of the weekend, you'd have happily taken this. Another 3 points. Extended our lead now. We're top by points and a clean sheet. Both our strikers scoring. Look, we're not going to play scintillating football every week. We had a 5-0 last week, which was brilliant. A nice 2-0 against the third best team in Scotland this week. And like I say, a lot to look forward to now. Champions League draw, bring it on.
Can't wait. Look, you're getting all the love in the chat, so I'll let you round this off, mate.
Thanks,
What's your final thoughts on today?
Final thoughts is to all you Celtic boys out there, boys with a H, right? 'Cause I think it's what it is, right? Just enjoy this wonderful club because my year and a half being a part of this beautiful family has just been some of the best footballing supporting years I've ever had. You don't know what you got here. I mean, some of you probably do, but it's so special. The people of this city, this lovely working class, beautiful town with this amazing club. Just enjoy every day. You got Ange, you got Harry Kewell, who's my boyhood idol as well, so I can't believe he joined. It was like a joke when he joined. I couldn't believe it. Just enjoy it because it's some of the best days of your life. Like here we are together on a Sunday afternoon, just talking and people are loving it. It's just, this is what dreams are made of, guys, and here we are living it.
A tear in my eye, mate.
Oh,
That was splendid. Look, it's been amazing to have you on. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be back over
Yeah, it'd
for
be
a
fun,
game
hey?
at some stage, or
Yeah.
maybe when we're playing in your city, we can chat to you near that time, and you'll obviously get to see that. Asim, thanks for joining us as well. We'll catch up with
Brilliant,
you
as
soon.
always.
Thank you to all of you for joining us. I'll be back tomorrow, taking another look back at today and ahead to a pretty big week. We've got a Champions League draw coming up, guys.
Real
and
Madrid?
It'd be tasty. We've got Scott McDonald back this week as well, so loads is happening. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll speak to you tomorrow.